last week's nuclear incident, the Soviet Union is now on secondary alert. We're one step away from a nuclear war.
DEFCON 2, huh?
In American parlance, yes. From what Western intelligence has been able to gather, the radical elements in the Soviet command are showing signs of impatience. They say we're on the brink of World War III here. And with Khrushchev's position getting weaker every day, I worry whether he'll be able to hold them back.
1 week.
Yes, America must eliminate the boss by its own hand to prove its innocence. There is no other way to resolve the crisis. Everything rests on your shoulders, Snake. Failure is not an option.
I know. Major, what should I do with this wreck of a drone?
Just leave it there.
Are you sure?
Yes.
But isn't this thing top secret?
Yes, it is. After the U-2 spy plane incident 4 years ago, plans were laid out for future spy missions in Soviet airspace to be carried out by an unmanned craft. That craft was the D-21 spy drone, the basis of the one you came in on. The D-21 is launched from a craft called the M21. The M21 itself is a derivative of the A-12, a supersonic long-range spy plane currently being developed as the successor to the U-2. However, for this mission, we used a modified YF-12A, a long-range interceptor version of the A-12. After being released from the mothership, the drone can achieve speeds upwards of Mach 3 at high altitude using its ramjet engine. It can't be shot down by ground-to-air missiles, and it's nearly undetectable by radar. With Selino-Yarsk in such a high state of alert after our last escapade, this was the only reliable way to get you in.
This is all top secret military technology. Are you telling me I'm supposed to just leave it here?
That's right.
Why?
The purpose of Operation Snake Eater is to send an American agent into the field in order to eliminate a defector and traitor, namely, the boss. Part of that mission involves making sure the Soviets find out what we're doing.
So we have to leave behind some kind of evidence that the U.S. was involved.
Don't worry. The technologically sensitive components of the craft were rigged to self-destruct when it landed. The only thing the Soviets are going to find is a pile of American-made scrap metal.
Got it. Just one thing, though.
What is it?
I think they better redesign the landing impact buffer. People are going to get hurt landing that thing.
I'll let them know.
I appreciate you allowing me to use weapons, but shouldn't I be carrying some rules?
You mean fake currency?
Right.
Snake, do you remember the Francis Gary Powers incident back in 1960?
Powers was flying a U-2 on a spy mission for the CIA in Soviet airspace. He was shot down and taken prisoner.
His confession brought to light the fact that the CIA was spying in Soviet airspace. As a result, the US-Soviet summit scheduled for 2 weeks later was cancelled.
Yeah, I remember.
U-2 pilots are required to carry items that mask their identity. Powers was carrying ruble, mark, and lira coins, as well as French gold coins. He was also carrying 2 gold watches and 7 women's rings. All of these objects were meant to conceal his national origins. But for this mission, we've got to demonstrate to the Khrushchev regime that America is involved. There's no need to conceal your origins. And besides, all you need to do is complete your mission. As long as you're not captured or killed, the details will take care of themselves.
Okay.
The Soviet intelligence community must be up in arms about the boss's defection. The great Voyevoda has abandoned America and embraced the Soviet Union.
Voyevoda?
Apparently, that's what they call the boss behind the Iron Curtain. It means warrior or mighty soldier in Russian. When used to refer to a woman, it means something close to Lady Knight. In Russia, where they've had a number of female emperors throughout their history, it's a term of great respect, but poetic in a way. The boss's exploits have made her name famous in the East as well.
Major, why did the boss defect?
I don't know, but I will tell you this. America is all too eager to get rid of her.
What do you mean?
She knows too many of our secrets. If she were to relay all the top secret information she knows to the Soviet bloc, it would put us at a severe disadvantage. It might even lead to the downfall of the West. Even if we survive, the boss is still too much of a hero to us. With her in the Soviet camp, we'd suffer a fatal loss of morale at home. There are even whispers that some of the less stalwart elements of the military might follow her example and defect themselves. I assume you're aware that since your last mission, several key figures within the CIA have been placed under house arrest.
Yeah.
The loss of the boss has been a painful one indeed.
What about you?
Me? I still can't believe it. As a comrade, I would have placed my trust in her before my own family. But now that I think about it, the boss always seemed to have an aura of mystery about her. I never would have expected it to manifest in this way, though. Oh well, it won't do to get all misty-eyed about it. She's an enemy now, worthy of nothing more than our contempt.
Understood. Major,
Yes?
I was just wondering, why do they call you Zero?
What do you mean?
We go back a long ways, but I just realized I never asked you why you're called Zero.
You want to know where it comes from?
Yeah, that's all right.
That's a bit nostalgic, really.
Nostalgic.
The first British intelligence outfit was established in 1909. The head of the Foreign Intelligence Division was a man named Mansfield George Smith Cumming. He was referred to simply as C after the first letter of his last name. Since then, out of respect for Cumming, the heads of the SIS have traditionally taken the name of C.
And James Bond's boss is called M.
That's right. I myself was once known as O.
And that's where Zero comes from.
Precisely. In another sense, though, it signifies a ghost, one whose true identity must remain a mystery, the primogenitor of the solo sneaking operation.
Is that so? Major, tell me a little bit more about the space race.
In 1957, the Soviet Union succeeded in launching their first artificial satellite, Sputnik, into orbit. Having been beaten to the chase by the Soviets, the US government accelerated its own space program in an effort to catch up. The following year, the space development programs of the various service branches were united to form the National Aeronautics and Space Administration, or NASA. That same year, the Mercury program was launched with the goal of putting a man into space. 7 candidates were chosen from the military as the first astronauts. These were the men with the right stuff. But as you know, it was a Soviet cosmonaut, Yuri Gagarin, who made the first successful manned spaceflight 3 years ago. NASA's first successful ballistic flight came 1 month after Gagarin's mission, with the Freedom 7 carrying Alan Shepard into space. After that, with America still lagging behind the Soviets in orbital flight, President Kennedy made a momentous decision. That America would put a man on the moon before the end of the decade.
Yeah, I heard that speech. But a lot of guys I knew weren't real happy about it. They said no one was going to make them go on a mission to blow up some damn moon base.
But rocket research and missile research are closely related. Imagine, if you will, the Soviet Union able to send wave after wave of nuclear missiles raining down on Washington from a base on the surface of the moon. Even if that's still a long way from reality, if we lose the initiative, we may never get it back. We're left with no choice but to keep moving forward one step at a time. The Gemini program, launched 2 years ago, represents the initial step towards establishing a moon base. And yet, I don't want to call President Kennedy a liar, but I simply can't imagine that in 6 years man would have reached the moon.
I don't know. I never even thought we'd make it up into space. I guess it all depends on whether you have the will to make it happen.
Perhaps you're right. Snake, let's go over the control.
You can capture animal. Saving the game, Snake? Okay. Do you want to save? Hey, Snake, you ever heard of Godzilla King of Monsters?
No, what is it?
It's a movie. You haven't seen it?
Nope.
It's about this monster called Godzilla, who grows to an enormous size in a nuclear test and goes on a rampage in Tokyo.
Nuclear test, huh? Then the Marshall Islands must be crawling with giant monsters right about now.
It's just make-believe.
Maybe that's why my pants have been so tight lately.
Snake, it's a movie, not a report out of Los Alamos.
I know. So then what happened?
Godzilla is immune to all weapons, and humanity has no way to stop the monster. Dr. Shirazawa develops a new type of weapon, but meanwhile, Godzilla's getting closer and closer to Tokyo, obliterating everything in its path. It was originally a Japanese movie, but they made an American version too. I recommend seeing the original Japanese one if you ever get the chance. It's mostly mindless fun, but it's also got a serious anti-nuke message as well.
Where can I see the original?
You'll just have to go to Japan.
Really? That's too bad.
If you wait 40 years, you might be able to see it in America too.
Why's that?
2004 will be Godzilla's 50th birthday.
You think they're still going to be making Godzilla movies then?
Of course! Everybody loves Godzilla.
You sure know a lot about movies.
I don't suppose you're the movie-watching type, are you?
Not really.
Okay, then I'll tell you everything I know. When the going gets tough, movies can save your life. It's always good to be able to look at things from a different perspective when you get in a jam. That's the magic of movies.
No kidding. Well, I guess it might at least make a nice distraction.
That's the spirit, Snake. Have a little fun.
Unit's members' names came from the specific emotions they each carry into battle.
Emotions.
Yeah. For unbearable torment, the pain. For true oblivion, the end. For infinite rage, the fury. For absolute terror, the fear. And for unsurpassed bliss, the joy.
Joy.
It's another name for the boss, because of the joy she feels in battle, I suppose. During the war, she had a partner named the Sorrow. Sorrow and joy. They say there couldn't have been a more perfect pair. The Davy Crockett's that the boss took with her when she defected are mortars that fire nuclear warheads. They're named after Davy Crockett, the hero who died defending the Alamo in the Texan War of Independence.
Remember the Alamo.
That's right. The warheads are equivalent to between 10 and 20 tons of TNT. Every building within 150 yards of the hypocenter is completely obliterated. But the warheads the boss had with her were some kind of experimental super bomb. So they're actually even more powerful than that. I don't even want to think about what happened if she used it again. Snake, you know what you have to do.
Yeah, I know.
Ah, Snake, what's up? Why are you naked? I know there's a naked option under uniform that lets you take off the upper part of your uniform, but without a shirt on, your camouflage sucks, and your stamina goes down faster. You don't get any advantages whatsoever.
Sure there are.
Like what?
It feels good.
Man, you do whatever you want.
I will, thanks. Just one question, though.
What?
Is there a way to take off my pants?
Say what?
My pants, can I?
Oh, hell no. This box unit is a nut fest. I heard you fought against KGB troops in the Virtuous mission, but this time you're up against Spec Knights. Spec Knights is the Special Forces unit of GROUP, the intelligence wing of the Soviet Defense Ministry's General Staff Office. Spec Knights troops undergo rigorous training in all types of special ops, from assassination and demolition to intelligence gathering. That and Volgan's loaded, man. His unit is one of the best equipped in the entire Soviet Union, if not the best. I heard the enemies you encountered in the Virtuous mission were only carrying weapons like AKs and grenades. Well, it ain't that simple anymore. In addition to AKs, some of the patrols you'll encounter might be equipped with Scorpion submachine guns and shotguns. The Scorpion is even lighter than the AK, making it much easier to handle. Basically, a guy with a Scorpion is not gonna miss you as often as with an AK. The shotgun is a powerful weapon. One blast is enough to floor you and you're likely to be seriously wounded. Watch for that, man. Keep in mind that it...
You just heard a horse?
Yeah.
You sure it Anything else?
I know a horse when I hear one.
Paramedic, are there any wild horses in Celino Yard?
Do you really expect me to say yes?
No.
So what should I do?
There's only one way through that area. All you can do is move forward. Head towards the sound of that horse. It came from the north. Be careful.
Ah, you're wearing the mask. I made it myself. Pretty good work, don't you think? A while back, they were planning to disguise someone as this one brew officer and send him in to steal some secret documents. I created the mask for that operation. But then the mission ended up being canceled. And then the major came and told me to throw it out. Can you believe that guy?
But you didn't throw it out.
Are you kidding? Tossing a superior quality product like that into the garbage without using it will be an insult to science. So I decided to use it to hide your face from the crew of the gunship during the Virtuous mission.
Okay, but is it really that big of a deal?
Of course it is.
What's so great about it?
Everything. But if I had to pick one reason, I'd have to say it's because it's the first mask ever that can blink its eyes.
What about the lips?
What's that?
Can it open its mouth?
That's a good one, Snake. You crazy, man.
I'm serious.
Are you even listening to me, Snake? Where's your common sense? Damn.
Sorry. Major.
Snake, the boss is your enemy. You've got to accept that reality. Adam is waiting for you at the abandoned factory to the north of your current position. Head north. The enemy must have seen the drone explode. They've probably already sent out patrol units. You never know when you'll encounter the enemy.
I see.
So, wearing Raindrop pattern camo, huh? Raindrop was used by Germany during World War II. Even now, it's still used a lot in Eastern Europe. It's designed to be especially inconspicuous in the rain, so you'll get the most out of it if you put it on during a downpour.
Arrived at the factory, I see.
Yeah, now to meet up with this Adam guy.
Good. Go to it.
So, where is he?
We weren't given an exact location.
How about a time?
Nothing was specified.
A physical description?
I'm not sure.
How am I supposed to find him then?
You won't need to.
Huh?
He'll find you.
Uh,
Why don't you try the room to the northeast where you met Sokolov? Adam might be in there. KGB to infiltrate Volgin's ranks. You'll need to be extremely careful in how you approach him.
obviously. He can't let Volgin know he's meeting me.
That's right. Adam won't show up if you're being pursued by the enemy. Before you go to rendezvous with Adam, make sure you haven't been seen by the enemy. Meet up with him in normal phase. Got it? Snake, camouflage unit.
I see you've got.
Snake, what are you doing?
I'm in a box.
A cardboard box? Why are you?
I don't know, I was just looking at it. Suddenly I got this irresistible urge to get inside. No, not just an urge. More than that. destiny to be here, in the box.
Destiny.
Yeah, and then when I put it on, I suddenly got this feeling of inner peace. I can't put it into words. I feel safe. Like this is where I was meant to be. Like I found the key to true happiness.
Uh-huh.
Does any of that make sense?
Not even a little.
You should come inside the box. Then you'll know what I mean.
Man, I don't want to know what you mean. Between you and paramedic, is everyone but me that is hooked up with the Major Strange?
Ah,
Yeah, well, anyway, I suppose even that dumbass box might make a decent disguise if you wear it inside a building. Snake, your face paint is
I know. It's called zombie.
zombie. What does that mean?
Beats me.
Are you serious?
Hello, paramedic.
You mean you've never heard of zombies?
No.
Never.
You guys don't know anything. A zombie is a dead body that's been cursed and brought back to life by a master of black magic. Supposedly, they revive the dead and use them as slaves. It's also seen as a kind of punishment. People who commit terrible crimes can be forced to labor even after they're dead.
Interesting. How do you know all this stuff?
I saw it in movies. Like White Zombie. Never seen it?
Nope.
Can't say I have.
How about Plan 9 from Outer Space?
No.
Missed it.
You can't just focus on the things you like all the time. You have to expand your horizons, try new things. You guys need to get out more.
Yeah, well, anyway, that face paint doesn't look all that useful. Go ahead and wear it if you want, but I think you should change to...
You don't need to change anything.
Why not?
It makes them look awesome. Doesn't it?
Look, arguing about it isn't going to get us any